Welcome, Plunder sisters. We are going to be talking about events and how they can benefit your business. I'm Jennifer Murdock, a 4-star peep with Plunder Design. The first point that I want to talk about is the potential for growth. If you want to host an event, think about an area that could benefit the most from hearing about our product and what kind of exposure could benefit your business. There are many things to consider about the growth. You are able to promote some sales, get more product in some new customers' hands. You were able to talk to some new individuals about our business opportunity. You were able to expose a new location about our wonderful company. Events can be large or small. Think about what would work best for you, what you're comfortable doing right now. Sometimes it's better for us to start with something a little smaller and work our way up to the larger events. Because if you've ever done an event, you know sometimes it can be a bit of a gamble. There are many things that can affect the success of your event, like the weather or what's going on in the community that day. So don't ever be discouraged. Do what you are comfortable with. They can yield great returns on your investment for your business. Think outside the box and what you can do to make your vendor event a huge success. Sometimes team members share the responsibility of hosting events together. Think about maybe if that's something you could do. The second point we're going to talk about is the benefit of sponsoring and how that can help you at events. Because we want to introduce our company to some new faces, vendor events can do just that. How can a vendor event help your business? When you are considering meeting new women at these events, be sure to answer any questions they might have about the business. Most importantly, make sure that you collect their info before they leave. Because you know I always say, the fortune is in the follow-up. Make sure you have a way to get back in touch with these new women that you are meeting. Vendor events have the potential to explode your business. Also, one thing to remember is that most vendor events have an application process. Because we want to keep it as fair as possible, please make sure that you are using the proper procedure and approving your request with our corporate office. Secondly, most applications have to be submitted a couple of months or even before in advance. Be sure that you don't miss those important deadlines. The third thing, and the obvious one for doing vendor events, sales. You have the potential to make some great volume in sales at vendor shows. However, you do have to have the product in hand. Only do what you are financially comfortable with. It's always a risk to take that much inventory and not know exactly how much you will sell at the show. Just like anything else, we buy with our eyes first. You want, at a vendor show, to try to have an aesthetically pleasing display where the jewelry is easily seen and accessible, also with it priced so that customers can look and make quick decisions. Usually if they see our price, it's already a done deal. Also, when we're talking about sales at vendor shows, don't forget you need to have a way to take those payments. Some stylists use the Square app and card reader. It is up to you as a stylist to choose what payment system works best for you. Also, keep in mind if you are collecting sales tax or what the procedure is for your particular event. The fourth and most asked question when I am talking about vendor events are, what are your expenses? Obviously, the smaller scale events tend to have least amount of expenses, whereas the larger events can incur more costs. I'm gonna say again, please consider what you are financially comfortable with when doing an event. There are lots of shows that have a $0 entry fee, and there are also larger scale shows who can charge up to $1,200 just for your booth space. Please do what you are comfortable with. Also, it's great to keep in mind any of your vendor event expenses are a tax write-off. The obvious expenses are your display pieces. Plan ahead for what you want it to look like. Set it up before your event begins, so when you arrive, you don't have to waste time designing. You already have a plan in place. The next thing you have is the expense of the inventory and product that you will need to keep on hand for your shows. Other business tools that I would have would be catalogs, opportunity brochures, and business cards. There's always miscellaneous spending that will come up, so make sure you budget a little bit for that amount as well. Another expense that sometimes may be relevant is your cost of lodging. If you are staying in a hotel, make sure that you include that in your travel expense budget when doing a large show. Sometimes it's better to go to a show where your best friend lives. Overall, vendor events can be large or small. They can be great no matter what the size. It's all about your attitude, proper planning, and making the most of it. One little more piece of great advice: make sure to take some responsibility and do your own research about your own vendor events. When you are considering to do an event, think about these 4 things: the potential for growth, sales, building your team, and the expenses. I believe in you, you can do it. Events. Introduced to some new faces. Vendor